All praise to the Most High. Give it up, give it up, give it up, for he is worthy to be praised. The Most High, the Spirit, the invisible that is in everything that is visible is the Most High. We have Elderess Janus Clark here, as you see the title, Clash Her with Jasher. I'm going to be quiet and turn it over to her hands. Sister Janus, you have the floor.
Shalom, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. I am in the Sefer Bible book and in the book of Jasher, chapter 9, and it reads as follows. And Haran, the son of Terash, Abram's oldest brother, took a woman in those days. Haran was 39 years old when he took her, and the woman of Haran conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Lot. And she conceived again and bore a daughter, and she called her name Milcah. And again conceived and bore a daughter, and she called her name Sarah. Haran was 42 years old when he begot Sarai, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abram. And in those days, Abram and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abram. And when Abram came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem, and he remained with them to learn the instructions of Yahuwah and his ways. And no man knew where Abram was. And Abram served Noah and Shem his son for a long time. And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years. And Abram knew Yahuwah from 3 years old. And he went in the ways of Yahuwah until the days of his death, as Noah and his son Shem had taught him. And all the sons of the earth in those days greatly transgressed against Jehovah. And they rebelled against him, and they served other Elohim. And they forgot Yahuwah, who had created them in the earth. And the inhabitants of the earth made unto themselves at that time every man his Elohim. Elohim of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, or deliver. And the stones of men served them, and they became their Elohim. And the king and all his servants, and Terah with all his household, were then the first of those that served Elohim of wood and stone. And Terash had 12 Elohim of large size, made of wood and stone, after the 12 months of the year. And he served each one monthly. And every month Terash would bring his oblation and drink offering to his Elohim. Thus did Terah all the days. And all that generation was wicked in the sight of Yahuwah. And they made every man his Elohim. But they forsook Yahuwah, who had created them. And there was not a man found in those days in the whole earth who knew Yahuwah, for they served each man his own Elohim, except Noah and his household, and all those who were under his counsel knew Yahuwah in those days. And Abram, the son of Terah, was waxing great in those days in the house of Noah, and no man knew it. And Yahuwah was with him, and Yahuwah gave Abram a understanding heart, and he knew all the works of that generation were vain, and that all their Elohim were vain and were of no avail. And Abram saw the sun shining upon the earth, and Abram said unto himself, surely now this sun that shines upon the earth is Elohim, and him will I serve. And Abram served the sun in that day, and he prayed to him. And when evening came, the sun set as usual. And Abram said within himself, surely this cannot be Elohim. And Abram still continued to speak within himself, who is he who made the heaven and the earth? Who created upon the earth? Where is he? And night darkened over him, and he lifted up his eyes toward the west, south, north, and east. And he saw that the sun had vanished from the earth, and the day became dark. And Abram saw the stars and moon before him, and he said, surely this is Elohim who created the whole earth as well as man. And behold, there these his servants are Elohim around him. And Abram served the moon and prayed to it all that night. And in the morning, when it was light and the sun shone upon the earth as usual, Abram saw all the things that Yahuwah Elohim had made upon the earth. And Abram said unto himself, surely these are not Elohim that made the earth and all mankind, but these are the servants of Elohim. And Abram remained in the house of Noah, and there knew Yahuwah his ways, and he served Yahuwah all the days of his life. And all that generation forgot Yahuwah and served other Elohims of wood and stone, and rebelled all their days. And King Nimrod reigned securely, and all the earth was under his control, and all the earth was of one tongue and words of union. And all the princes of Nimrod and his great men took counsel together, Put, Masraim, Cush, Canaan, their families. And they said to each other, come, let us build ourselves a city, and in it a strong tower, and its top reaching heaven, and we will make ourselves famed, so that we may reign upon the whole earth, in order that the evil of our enemies may cease from us, that we may reign mightily over them, and that we may not become scattered over the earth on account of their wars. And they all went before the king, and they told the king these words. And the king agreed with them in this affair, and he did so. And all the families assembled, consisting of about 600,000 men. And they went to seek an extensive piece of ground to build the city and the tower. And they sought in the whole earth, and they found none like one valley at the east of the land of Shinar, and about 2 days' walk. And they journeyed there, and they dwelled there. And they began to make bricks and burn fires to build a city and the tower that they had imagined to complete. And the building of the tower was unto them a transgression and a sin. And they began
Sister
to build.
Janus,
Yes.
can I remember where you are? I want to look at something because we just said something about the Holy Spirit the other night. And did I get this right? Did you say that they sought the whole earth? They found none like a location in the east that was about a 2 days walk and a journey, and there they dwelt? Because we said that the whole earth was closer, what the Holy Spirit said, until the time of what the scriptures say, Peleg was born, which his name means to divide. That's when God scattered the land, but the scriptures say he scattered the people. Okay, continue. I just wanted to point that out there. Thank you, Sister Janice. I'm sorry.
It's verse 23, and it says, and all the families assembled, consisting of about 600,000 men, and they went to seek an extensive piece of ground to build the city and the tower. And they sought in the whole earth, and they found none like one valley at the east of the land of Shinar, and about 2 days' walk. And they journeyed there, and they dwelt there. And they began to make bricks and burn fires to build the city and the tower that they had imagined to complete. And the building of the tower was unto them a transgression and a sin. And they began to build it. And while they were building against Yahuwah Elohim of heaven, they imagined in their hearts to war against him to ascend into heaven. And all these people and all the families divided themselves into 3 parts. The first said, we will ascend into heaven and fight against him. The second said, we will ascend to heaven and place our own Elohim there and serve him. And the third part said, we will ascend to heaven and smite him with bows and spears. And Elohim knew all their works and all their evil thoughts. And he saw the city and the tower which they were building. And when they were building, they built themselves a great city and a very high, strong tower. And on account of its height, the mortar bricks did not reach the builders in their in their ascent to it, until those who went up and had completed a full year. And after that, they reached to the builders and gave them the mortar and the bricks. Thus was it done daily. And behold, these ascended and others descended the whole day. And if a brick should fall from their hands and get broken, they would all weep over it. And if a man fell and died, none of them would look at him. And Yahuwah knew their thoughts. And it came to pass when they were building, they cast the arrows toward the heavens, and all the arrows fell upon them filled with blood. And when they saw them, they said to each other, surely we have slain all those that are in heaven. For this was from Yahuwah in order to cause them to err, in order to destroy them from off the face of the ground. And they built a tower in the city, and they did this thing daily until many days and years were elapsed. And Elohim said to the 70 angels who stood foremost before them, to those who were near to him, saying, come, let us descend and confuse their tongues, that one man shall not understand the language of his neighbor. And they did so unto them. And from that day following, they forgot each man his neighbor's tongue, and they could not understand to speak in one tongue. And when the builders took from the hands of his neighbor lime or stone, which he did not order, the builder would cast it away and throw it upon his neighbor, that he would die. And they did so many days, and they killed many of them in this manner. And Yahuwah smote the 3 divisions that were there, and he punished them according to their works and designs. Those who said, we will ascend to heaven and serve our Elohim, became like apes and elephants. And those who said, we will smite the heaven with arrows, Yahuwah killed them, one man through the hand of his neighbor. And the 3rd division of those who said, we will ascend to heaven and fight against him, Yahuwah scattered them throughout the earth. And those
wait. So when scientists say there's some men running around here from apes and evolving from monkeys and gorillas and elephants, what did you just read to me? And what culture was that? Because sure wasn't the Hebrews. I mean, so you Homo sapien evolutionalized shapeshifters. That's what we call them today.
Verse 36. And those who were left among them, when they knew and understood the evil which was coming upon them, they forsook the building. And they also became scattered upon the face of the whole earth. And they ceased building the city and the tower. Therefore he called that place Babel. For there Yahuwah confounded the language of the whole earth. Behold, it was at the east of the land of Shinar. And as the tower which the sons of men built, the whole earth opened his mouth and swallowed up 1/3 part thereof. And a fire also descended from heaven and burned another 1/3. And the other 1/3 is left to this day. And it is of their part, which was a loft, and its circumference is 3 days' walk. And many of the sons of men died in that tower, a people without number. Chapter 10. And Peleg, the son of Eber, died in those days, in the 48th year of the life of Abram, son of Terash. And all the days of Peleg was 239 years. And when Yahuwah had scattered the sons of men on account of their sin of the tower at the tower, behold, they spread forth into many divisions, and all the sons of men were dispersed in the 4 corners of the earth. And all the families became each according to its language, its land, or its city. And the sons of men built many cities according to their families, and all the places where they went, and throughout the earth where Yahuwah had scattered them. And some of them built cities in places from which they were afterwards extirpated, and called these cities after their own names, or the names of their children, or after
wait. I want to put the parallel. Now, when people saying these gods or these angels did this, and the word of God say men of renown, like men with possessive powers or supernatural, you know. So it just told you all these great cities and the stuff we see under the water right now was built by, continue reading, Sister Janice, just wanted to point that out.
In verse 6, and the sons of Japhet, the sons of Noah, went and built themselves cities in the places where they were scattered. And they called all their cities after their names. And the sons of Japhet were divided upon the face of the earth into many divisions and languages. And these are the sons of Japhet, according to their families: Gimmer, Magog, Madai, Yavan, Tuber, Meshech, Tiria. These are the children of Japhet, according to their generations. And the children of Gimmer, according to their cities, were the Frankium, who dwelled in the land of Franza, by the river Franza, by the river Shinar. And the children of Rephaim are the Batonium, who dwelled in the land of Batonia, by the river Ladar, which empties its water into the great sea of Gentian, that is, Oceanus. And the children of Tumagad are 10 families, and these are their names: Bazar, Parazamak, Balga, Elkanan, Rabib, Tarki, Bib, Z, Bach, Anga, Talmaz. All these spread and restead in the north and built themselves cities. And they call their cities after their own names. These are they who abide by the river Hilglah, and italic unto this day. But the families of Agori, Balia, Parzamak, and they dwelled by the great river Dubni, and the names of their cities are also according to their own names. And the children of Yavan are the Yavanium, who dwelled in the land of Madonia, and the children of Madai, and of the Orlam, that dwelled in the land of Curzium. And the children of Tubal are those that dwelled in the land of Tuxian, by the river of Pashia. And the children of Meshech are the Shavashinim, of the children of Taranak and the Rushian, Cushani and Ungolis, and these went and built themselves cities. These are the cities are situated by the sea Yavak, by the river Kura, which empties itself into the river Tragan. I just want to make a note that in the Sefer is different from the King James Version that you guys are seeing on the screen. And these names are different. They're in Hebrew, actually. Amen. Verse 15. And the children of Elisha are the Armenians, and they also went and built themselves cities. These are the cities situated between the mountains of Aravoth and Shavanimo. And of them were the people of Lombardia, who dwell opposite the mountains of Lova and Shavanium, and they conquered the land of Italia and remained there until this day. And the children of Kittim are the Romanians, who dwelled in the valley of Canobia by the river Tibriu. And the children of Dodania are those who dwell in the city of the sea Gachion, in the land of Borda. These are the families of the children of Japhet, according to their cities and languages, when they were scattered after the tower. And they called their cities after their names and occurrences. And these are the names of all the cities according to their families, which they built in those days after the tower. And the children of Shem was Cush, Mastraim, Put, Canaan, according to their generations and cities. And all these went and built themselves cities as they found fit places of them. And they called their cities after the names of their fathers: Cush, Mastraim, Put, and Canaan. And the children of Mizraim are Lydian, Anamium, Lahavium, Natashium, Patricium, Chalchium, Captorium, 7 families. All these dwell by the river Shachar, that is the brook of Mizraim. And they built themselves city and called them after their own names. And the children of Patra and the Caltron intermarried together, and from them went forth the Pelishim. Is that the Palestines? Okay. And the Gazians, and the Gerarium, and Kittim, and the Eronium, and all 5 families. They also built themselves cities, and they called their cities after the names of their father unto this day. And the children of Canaan also built themselves cities, and they called their cities after their names, 11 cities and others without number. And 4 men from the family of Shem went to the land of Plain. There are the names of the 4 men: Sedem, Amorah, Admah, and Tebesium. And these men built themselves 4 cities in the land of the plain, and they called the names of their cities after their own names. And they, their children, and all belonging to them dwelled in their cities, and they were fruitful and multiplied greatly and dwelled peacefully. And Sair, the city of Chority, son of Chavidi, son of Canaan, went and found a valley opposite of Mount Paran, and he built a city there. And he and his 7 sons and his household dwelled there. And he called the city which he built Shamir, Seir, and according to his name. That is the land of Shamir until this day. And these are the families of the children of Shem, according to their languages and cities, when they were scattered to their countries after the tower. And some of the
Now,
children,
it's spelled like that in the Sefer, but that's Ham. Because you're getting ready, for those that don't know, you're getting ready to speak of the Arabs, Shem and them. Go ahead, Sister Janice.
okay, verse 30. And some of the children of Shem, son of Noah, father of all the children of Eber, also went and built themselves cities in the places wherein they were scattered, and they called their cities after their names. And the sons of Shem was Elam, Ashur, Akapashad, Ludia, Abram, and they built themselves cities and called the names of all their cities after their names. And Ashur, son of Shem, and his children and household went forth at that time, a very large body of them, and they went to the distant land that they found, and they met with a very extensive valley in the land that they went to. And they built themselves 4 cities, and they called them after their own names and occurrences. And these are the names of the city which the children of Ashur built: Navadeh, Nanaveh, I guess that's Nineveh, Resen, Kalash, Rehoboth, and the children of Ashur dwell there until this day. And the children of Aram also went and built themselves a city, and they called the name of the city after its, call the city Utz, after their eldest brother, and they dwell therein. That is the land of Uz to this day. And in the 2nd year after the tower, a man from the house of Ashur, whose name was Bela, which went from the land of Nevada to sojourn with his household wherever he could find a place. And they came unto opposites the city of the circle of Yarden, which is, I guess, Jordan, against Sedom. And they dwelled there. And the man rose up and built there a small city and called it Bela, and after its name. That is the land of Tarzar, to Soar, until this day. And these are the families of the children of Shem, according to their language in the cities, after they scattered upon the earth after the tower, in every kingdom, city A family of families of the children of Noah built themselves many cities after this, and they established governments in all their cities in order to be regulated by their orders. So did all the families of the children of Noah forever. Chapter 11. And Nimrod, son of Cush, was still in the land of Shinar, and he reigned over it and dwelt there. And he built cities in the land of Shinar. And there, these are the names of the four cities which he built. And he called their names after occurrences that happened to them in the building of the tower. And he called the first Babel, saying, because Yahuwah there confounded the language of the whole earth. And the name of the second he called Erech, because from there Elohim dispersed them. And the third he called Akkarad, saying there was a great battle at that place. And the fourth he called Kalna, because his princes and mighty men were consumed there. And they were vexed, and they vexed Yahuwah. They rebelled and transgressed against him. And when Nimrod had built these cities in the land of Shinar, and placed them in them the remainder of his people, his princes, and his mighty men that were left in his kingdom. And Nimrod dwelled in Babel, and there renewed his reign over the rest of his subjects, and he reigned securely. And the subjects and princes of Nimrod called his name Raphael, saying that at the tower his princes and men fell through his means. And notwithstanding this, Nimrod not returned to Yahuwah. He continued in wickedness and teaching wickedness to the sons of men. And Mardon, his son, was worse than his father and continued to add to the abominations of his father. And he caused his sons of men to sin. Therefore, it is said, from the wicked goes from wickedness. And at that time, there was war between the families of the children of Shem as they were dwelling in the cities which they had built. And Kalaram, Kedorah Omor, king of Elam, went away from the families of the children of Shem, and he fought with them, and he subdued them. And he went to the 5 cities of the circle of Jordan, and he fought against them, and he subdued them, and they were under his control. And they served him 12 years, and they gave him a yearly tax. And at that time died Nachor, son of Sharag, in the 49th year of the life of Abram, son of Tarash. And in the 50th year of the life of Abram, son of Tarash, Abram came forth from the house of Noah and went to his father's house. And Abram knew Yahuwah, and he went in his ways and instructions, and Yahuwah Eloheinu was with him. And Tarash, his father, was in those days still captain of the host of King Nimrod, and he still followed the strange Elohim. And Abram came to his father's house and saw 12 Elohim standing there in their temples, and the anger of Abram was kindled when he saw these images in his father's house. And Abram said, as Yahuwah lives, these images shall not remain in my father's house. So shall Yahuwah, who created me, do unto me, if in these 3 days' time I do not break them all. And Abram went from them, and his anger burned within him. And Abram hastened and went from the chamber to his father's outer court. And he found his father sitting in the court, and all the servants with him. And Abram came and sat before him. And Abram asked his father, saying, Father, tell me, where is Elohim, who created heaven and earth, and all the sons of men upon the earth, who created you and me? And Tarash answered his son Abram and said, Behold, those who created us are all with us in the house. And Abram said to his father, my Adoni, show them to me, I pray you. And Tarash brought Abram unto the chamber of the inner court, and Abram saw, and behold, the whole room was full of Elohim, of wood and stone, 12 great images, and others less than they without number. And Terah said to his son, behold, these are they which made all you see upon the earth. and which created me and you and all mankind. And Tarash bowed down to his Elohim, and he then went away from them. And Abram, his son, went away from him. And when Abram had gone from them, he went to his mother and sat before her. And he said to his mother, Behold, my father had shown me those who made heaven and earth and all the sons of men. Now, therefore, hasten and fetch a kid from the flock and make of it savory meat, that I may bring it to my father Elohim. Excuse me. An offering for them to eat. Perhaps I may thereby become acceptable to them. And his mother did so, and she fetched a kid and made savory meat thereof and brought it to Abram. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother and brought it before his father Elohim, and he drew nigh to them that they might eat. And Terash, his father, did not know of it. And Abram saw on the day when he was sitting amongst them that they had no voice, no hearing, no motion. Not one of them could stretch forth his hand to eat. And Abram marked them and said, Surely the savory meat that I prepared has not pleased them, or perhaps it was too little for them, and for that reason they would not eat. Therefore tomorrow I will prepare fresh savory meat, better and more plentiful than this, in order that I may see the result. And it was on the next day that Abram directed his mother concerning the savory meat. And his mother rose and fetched 3 fine kids from the flock and made of them same excellent savory meat, and such as her son was fond of. And she gave it to her son Abram, and Terash and his father did not know of it. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother and brought it before his father Elohim into the chamber. And he came nigh unto them that they might eat, and he placed it before them. And Abram sat before them all day, thinking perhaps they might eat. And Abram viewed them, and behold, they had neither voice nor hearing, nor did any of them stretch forth his hand to the meat to eat. And in the evening of that day, in that house, Abram was clothed with Ruach Elohim. And he called out and said, Woe unto my father and this wicked generation, whose hearts are all inclined to vanity, who serve their idols of wood and stone, which can neither eat, smell, hear, nor speak, who have mouths without speech, eyes without sight, eyes without hearing, hands without feeling, and legs which cannot move. Like them are those that made them and that trust in them. And when Abram saw all these things, his anger was kindled against his father. And he hastened and took a hatchet in his hand and came into the chamber of Elohim, and he broke all his father's Elohim. And when he had done breaking the images, he placed the hatchet in the hand of the great Elohim, which was there before them, and he went out. And Tarash, his father, came home, for he had heard at the door the sound of the striking of the hatchet. So Tarash came into the house to know what this was about. And Tarash, having heard the noise of the hatchet in the room of images, ran to the room to the images and met Abram going out. And Tarash entered the room and found all the idols fallen down and broken, and the hatchet in the hand of the largest, which was not broken, and the savory meat which Abram his son had made still before them. And when Tarash saw this, his anger was greatly kindled. And he hastened and went from the room to Abram. And he found Abram his son still sitting in the house. And he said to him, What is this work you have done to my Elohim? And Abram answered Tarash, his father, and he said, Not so, my Adoni, for I brought savory meat before them, and when I came nigh to them with the meat, they might eat. They all at once stretched forth their hands to eat before the great one had put forth his hands to eat. And when I came nigh to them with meat that they might eat, they all at once stretched forth their hands to eat before the great one had put his hand to eat. And the large one saw their works that they did before them, and his anger was violently kindled against them. And he went and took the hatchet that was in the house and came to them and broke them off. And behold, the hatchet is yet in his hand, as you see. And Terah's anger was kindled against his son Abram when he spoke this. And Terah said to Abram his son in his anger, "What is this tale that you have told? You speak lies to me. Is this is there in these Elohim Ruach soul or power to do all you have told me? Are they not wood and stone? And have I not myself made them? And can you speak such lies, saying that the large Elohim that was with them smote them? It is you that did place the hatchet in his hands." And they say he smote them all. And Abram answered his father and said to him, "And how can you then serve these idols in whom there is no power to do anything? Can these idols in which you have trust deliver you? Can they hear your prayers when you call upon them? Can they deliver you from the hands of your enemies, or will they fight your battles for you against your enemies, that you should serve wood and stone which could neither speak nor hear? And now surely it is not good for you, nor for the sons of men, that they are connected with you to do these things. Are you so silly, so foolish, or so short of understanding, that you will serve wood and stone and do after this manner, and forget Yahuwah Elohim, who made heaven and earth, who created you in the earth, and thereby bring a great evil upon your souls in the manner by serving stone and wood? Did not our father in days of old of sin in this manner? And Yahuwah Elohim of the universe brought waters of the flood upon them and destroyed the whole earth. How can you continue to do this and serve Elohim of wood and stone, who cannot hear or speak or deliver you from oppression? Therefore, bring down the anger of Elohim of the universe upon you. Now therefore, my father, refrain from this, and bring not evil upon your soul and the souls of your household. And Abram hastened and sprang from before his father, and took the hatchet from his father's largest idol, with which Abram broke it, and ran away. And Terah, seeing all that Abram had done, hastened to go from his house, and he went to the king, and he came before Nimrod, stood before him, and he bowed down the king. And the king said, "What do you want?" And he said, "I beseech you, my Adonai, to hear me. Now 50 years back, a child was born to me, and thus has he done to my Elohim, and thus has he spoken. And now, therefore, my Adonai and king, send for him, that he may come before you and judge him according to the law, that we may be delivered from this evil." And the king sent 3 men of his servant, and they went and brought Abram before the king. And Nimrod and all his princes and servants were that day sitting before him. And Terah sat also before them. And the king said to Abram, "What is it that you have done to your father, to his Elohim?" And Abram answered the king in the words that he spoke to his father. He said, "The large Elohim that was with them in the house did to them what you have heard." And the king said to Abram, "Have they power to speak and eat and do as you have said?" And Abram answered the king, saying, "And if there be no power in them, why do you serve them, and cause the kings of men to err from your follies? Do you imagine that they can deliver you, or do anything small or great, that you should serve them? And why would you not sense the Elohim of the whole universe, who created you, and in whose power it is to kill and keep alive? O foolish, simple, and ignorant king, woe unto you forever! I thought you would teach your servants the upright way, but you have not done this, but have filled the whole earth with your sins and the sins of your people who have followed your ways. Do you not know, or have you not heard, that this evil which you do, our ancestors sinned therein in the days of old, and the eternal Elohim brought the waters of the flood upon them and destroyed them all, and also destroyed the whole earth on their account? And would you and your people rise up now and do like unto this work, in order to bring down the anger of Yahuwah Elohim of the universe, and to bring evil upon you and the whole earth? Now therefore put away this evil deed which you do, and serve the Elohim of the universe, as your soul is in his hands, and then it will be well with you. And if your wicked heart will not hearken to my words, to cause you to forsake your evil ways and to serve the eternal Elohim, then will you die in shame in the latter days. You, your people, and all who are connected with you, hearing your words or walking in your evil ways. And when Abram had ceased speaking before the king and princes, Abram lifted up his eyes to the heavens and he said, Yahuwah sees all the wicked and he will judge them. That's the end of chapter 11. And we will end this right now until next time. This has been in the book of the Sefer, reading the book of Jasher. And that's the ending of chapter 11. Until next time, shalom.